All right, let's do one more video on this Saturday afternoon before I'm going to upload these while I go out to Red Robin for supper with the family tonight. Looking forward to that. Getting some sweet potato fries and a burger. Page 28. Let's do a couple of problems together and then hopefully you can figure out the rest of them on your own. It does tell us that you probably need to use the unit circle, which is in your Trig study notebook. So problem number 2 says we're going to do 1 plus the sine of x, but then it tells us that x is pi over 2. So we're saying we need to first figure out, well, what is the sine of pi over 2? Let's look over here at the graph and we'll notice that that is straight up. This is 1 pi, because 2 pi is a complete circle, right? So 1 pi is 180 degrees. So pi divided by 2 would be 90 degrees, which is straight up. And in that case, the sine of 90 degrees is 1, okay? So this whole thing here simplifies and becomes the number 1. And so then you can finish that problem pretty easily because you're just taking this number 1 plus the answer to that, which is 1, boom. Let's look at number 5. The sine of x plus pi. Well, let's figure out what would pi over 2 plus pi, what would that actually work out to be? Well, remember, we have to go back to algebra half or pre-algebra. To add these, we have to have a common denominator, right? So this would be the same as 2 pi over 2. And this is 1 pi over 2. Now I can add them and get 3 pi over 2. And then if we look at the graph, we can figure out where 3 pi over 2 would be. Let's see, if this is pi and all the way over here is 2 pi, this is another halfway between these. This is like 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, this is 3 pi over 2, so it's going straight down. So the sine of that, it's like sine of 270 degrees, would be -1. Oops, I just gave you the answer. Sorry, I don't like to do that. This was the hard part. Once you get that, look at the graph. It's just a matter of looking at your trig circle. And you can see there as well exactly what the answer would be. Let's look at this last one. Now this one we're going to use our calculator. And it says for this section 7 through 12, it says make sure it is in, I'm going to hit clear. Whoops, clear, okay. Make sure you're in radian mode. Remember how to do that? So hit mode, and then looking here, the third one down says either radians or degrees. I'm in radians, so we're good. So I can second function mode, quit, back to a blank screen. So we're going to type this in exactly as it appears right here, and the calculator is smart enough to know that it's going to do this multiplication first and then add that. All right, so we're going to hit cosine. It automatically gives us the opening, the parentheses, 3 times 5 plus 0.7. Hit the close parentheses, okay? And then when you hit enter, it gives you a number. Now, if you look at, and I want you to do this on your calculator, you should get the same thing I just got. -0.99999682933. That's not what you're going to write. It's close enough to -1 in that case. It's like we're going to round to 2 decimal places. So that third decimal place just means you're going to round everything up. So just round it off to that whole number, really, with 2 decimal places after it. So I'm looking here at the Actually, it says to the nearest 10,000 if necessary. So that's still, rounding it to the nearest 10,000 would give you a number with 4 zeros behind it. Okay, I think you can finish the rest of page 28 on your own, and then read and study pages 29 and 30 and 31. I'm not going to do a lesson for those pages. Looking it over, I think once the foundation we've laid so far should help you to do those pages, which will take you right up then to the summary before the checkup, and then a mathematical connection page on page 34, and then you have the checkup on 35, 36, and you're 2/3 of the way through the pace. I will try to find some time later this week to do the video for the last section, which is about tangent, which has a totally different graph to it. It does not look like the sine or the cosine graph. So we'll come back and do that, and then you'll be done with this pace before you know it.